No, in places like East Coast. The battleground perhaps to many is not just the constituency level. We all know the Workers' Party has their eyes again set on East Coast. But I think this is also a battle that reflects the bigger PAP, WP contest. So do you and your team feel this weight of expectations?
I think in every GE that I've been in, this will be my fourth one. Past three were all WP opponents, and each time it was a tough election. WP has always given us a good fight at elections, and we take every election, every fight seriously, whether it's at East Coast or otherwise. You make the point that East Coast can be seen as a bigger representation of national contestation, but I think actually with each GE, the first and most important consideration is who will be my local representative that will look after me, that will enhance my home, that will grow my common spaces in my constituency, and also allow me to level up to reach my aspirations locally. And of course, that is to me the most important criteria. So every GE we are measured by, as the incumbent, how much you have done on the ground, how present you are, how much you have helped. And then beyond that, of course, there's always a national element to every election, because the ruling party and the government of the day will be made up of a collection of all the seats. You pass 30.1%, and if you pass it, then you form the government. Therefore, the quality of the party, the ability to lead nationally, the ability to decide on difficult issues affecting Singapore and Singaporeans, and the ability to look long-term. I think these are all factors and considerations that a voter, whether at East Coast or indeed at any other constituency, will have in mind.
So having said that, the residents of East Coast, where do you think their priorities will be? Constituency, upgrades and plans? Or is it more deeper level, the philosophy going forward in this very turbulent world, for instance,
I think it's got to be a combination of these factors. Everyone has a different metrics, and maybe some place a greater priority and emphasis on one over the other. But at the end of the day, a voter will look at what is in his or her longer term interest, and his or her longer term interest will also be the longer term interest of Singapore as a country. What kind of democracy do we want? How contested do we want to see Singapore? How productive and constructive do we want to see Parliament? And what will Singapore be like for my children and beyond? I think these are all factors that everyone will take into account, along with local considerations. Do I want my streets upgraded, my estate upgraded, or my flats changed? Or do I want a local facility that helps me with sports or with recreation? All of these are all factors that would be taken into account, and perhaps for each voter to a greater or lesser extent.